Okay, the next step is just go to this tools, then select this NuGet package manager, go to manage NuGet packages for solution. Here select the browse section here, not installed, it should be browse, and then you are going to type Pomelo. After typing Pomelo, you will see this library. You have to select that and then select the target project here. Go to the below, click this install button. After clicking that, it will ask you some permission. Click OK and then accept it. Okay, now it will be added to our project. Here we can see it is ready. Now the next step is go to this app settings.json file. Here currently we have some local database. What I am going to do, just delete this connection string value, and then here I am going to say server is equals to localhost. If you have a remote MySQL database, you can use those here, and then I am going to say port as 3306. You have to use your port. What is that? Here in the exam, if you click this config button of this MySQL, click this my.ini, here this is the port. If you see any error while using this 3306, you have to make sure what is your port is, and then I am going to say database is equals to a new database like employees, and then username for this as we can say user is equals to, normally it is root, you can use your one here in the PHP myadmin. So and then the password, I don't have any password, so I can keep equal symbol and then just put semicolon after that. Now I am going to say persist security info equals to true. That means it will remember my connection to the database. Okay, that's about the connection string part. We can go to this program.cs file, and then here we are using SQL server, so I am going to comment that code. Comment it, comment this also, and then I am going to say builder.services.add db context pool angle brackets on both sides. Inside that we are going to say application db context. What is that? Here in this data folder we have this application db context class. Inside that class we have something like this, so that's why we are saying that here. So put parentheses, inside parentheses I am going to say options equals angle bracket, and then I will create a new line to make this more readable, and then I am going to say options dot use MySQL. If you not install that Pomelo library, you cannot see this. You have to install the Pomelo library. Now the first argument will be the connection string, so you can say connection string, this is the one. The second one is we have to define the server version. For that we can use the server version class and then dot auto detect method. Inside this method, as the argument, it will ask the connection string, so it will return the server version of this connection string. Okay, now put semicolon. Alright, now I am going to delete this current migrations folder in the data folder. We can right click on it, click delete, otherwise we will face some issues. Now the next step is just go to tools and then go to NuGet package manager, select package manager console. Okay, now here you are going to say add hyphen migration and then some migration file name, for example init or whatever, for example my first init. After that please press enter, it will take some time. Okay, now it shows me some error, that because I have to install some library again. Go to tools and then NuGet package manager, click manage NuGet packages for solution and then type here design. After searching that in the browse section, you will see this Microsoft.entity framework core.design. Select that and then add that into our project by clicking the install button. Press OK here, click I accept. It will add it into our project, so it will dismiss our issue. Now we can open the package manager console here again and then run the same code, like add hyphen migration and then I'm going to say something like init here or whatever, for example initial create. So it will start to create my new migration file. Okay, the next step is update the database. We can say update hyphen database in this package manager console. Press enter, it will create the table. Now we can go to our phpMyAdmin localhost /phpMyAdmin. Now if we scroll here, we can see this employees database is created and it have some default tables generated by ASP.NET. Currently we don't have any tables that made by us. For that we have to create a new model in the models folder. Right click on that, click add, select class here. Here you have to define the class name as the table name that you want. For example employees. Okay, then click add. Now in the model you are going to say public int id or whatever. Now normally if you provide the value as id for this, it will identify that is the primary key of the table. So you don't have to explicitly say this is the primary key. We have to say get set semicolon. Now if you want to explicitly say something is the primary key, all you have to do, in top of this declaration you are going to say square brackets and then inside that key. Okay, now if you specify this key here, it will identify below one is the primary key. Now as we use id here or capital ID or capital I simple D, it will identify that is the primary key. So then I will have something like public string name and it will get set it name get set. So the last one I am going to use to make this more simplifier, public int age and get set. Okay, now we have the required model for the new table, but if we run this, it will not create the table in the database. We have something to do. Go to your application db-context.cs file in the data folder, and then after the braces you are going to say db set, here db set, and then angle brackets. Inside the angle brackets you are going to specify your model name here, which is employees. Okay, now here we are going to provide some variable name for this, but the thing is, remind this carefully, the variable name that we are going to provide will be the table name. For example, if you say hello here, the table name will be hello. If you say employee here, table name will be employee. Now we can say get set for this, get semicolon set semicolon. Okay, now we can open the package manager console again. Go to tools, NuGet package manager console. Here I'm going to type add hyphen migration and some migration file name. You can use whatever you want here. For example, creating employee table. Okay, press enter. Now the migration file will be created into this migrations folder. Okay, the next step is update the database. Without updating you will not see the table. You are going to say update hyphen database, press enter. After a while the table will be created. Now we can check our database. Here we have the employee table. Now that is it for the configuration. Now we are going to create our CRUD operations for this employee table. But before that you have to check one thing, because lot of people are doing this mistake, that when we are saying db set in this application db context, we have to say that is a public one. That should be a public db set. Okay, and then we can go ahead and right click on our project, click add here, select a new scaffold item, here this one. After clicking that, go to this MVC controller section. You will see this MVC controller with views using entity framework. Select that and then click add. After doing that you will see this window, add MVC controller with views using entity framework. Select the model here that you created in the models folder, then select the application db context, here this one. So you can specify your controller name here. Make sure you have select this user layout page, then click add. All the views and controller being created here. One thing to note, when this is created our controller, it will create the controller in the root folder of this project. We have to move that controller into controllers folder, because this is a MVC web app. We should maintain that structure. I am going to move this file into controllers now. Employee controller is going to move into these controllers, but make sure you are adjusting the namespace for moved files. You can see currently it is CRUD, but now it is CRUD.controllers. Okay, now in the views we have employees folder, that containing all the views to have CRUD operations. Now all we have to do, just go ahead and run this application and check whether everything is works. Click yes, yes. Here is our application. So what I am going to do is just go to the path, which is employees. Here we can create a new employee. I'm going to say some name, age, create. Here we have our employee here. Alright, I hope this video helps. Okay, here we have our employee. We can delete or go to details. Okay, I hope this video helps. If this video helps, please subscribe. Thank you.